Going through a difficult breakup with his beloved, Ben begins to suffer from insomnia. In his spare time, he decides to work the night shift at the local supermarket, where the employee's main task is to kill time. Suddenly, he discovers he has an unusual ability to stop time, which contributes to his creativity. Hello everyone, this is Recap Movie Hub. Today I'm going to tell you about the movie Cashback. Ben Willis is a young art student and the main character in this story. He is going through a very hard breakup with his girlfriend Susie. As a goodbye, she made him a real scandal and even threw a cup at him and then the table lamp. Together with his best friend Sean, they discuss Susie, and Ben discovers that she is already dating another guy. Sean advises him to start a relationship with a model to make Susie jealous, but Ben has trouble attracting female attention. In an attempt to distract himself from his problems, Ben joins a painting group. In one class, he draws a beautiful girl, but his instructor voices his displeasure and forces him to draw a fat man with no clothes on. At night, suffering from insomnia, Ben calls Susie and apologizes to her, but the past cannot be brought back, especially since the girl already has a new boyfriend. He revisits the photos he took with Susie and wants to burn them, but puts them in a drawer instead. To pass the time somehow, the guy watches movies, reads books, and even travels alone to other cities. But as night falls, he continues to be plagued by insomnia and thoughts of Susie. On one such sleepless night, he happens to be in a convenience store, where he notices an ad for a night shift job and immediately takes the job. During an interview with his boss, Ben notices that he can slow down time, but cannot yet control this ability. At first, he works in unusual ways, such as just standing and looking at scattered peas instead of cleaning them up. His boss reprimands him, after which Ben gets to work. One day, noticing a pretty girl, he begins to consider her beautiful figure, for which he receives a slap on the wrist and a second reprimand from the boss. At work, every employee has his own ways to pass the time. The cashier Sharon does not look at her watch and constantly tries to cover it with something. After all, the more often you check the time, the slower it goes. Barry and Matt ride scooters and make jokes about customers. One of their favorite pranks is planting an adult toy in someone's cart. At the checkout, some shoppers decide to keep the interesting toy for themselves after all. The only person who is happy with everything is their boss. He can endlessly tell everyone around him how cool and rich he is. While Ben, because of a breakup with his girlfriend Susie, has not been able to sleep for 2 weeks, he suddenly realizes that he can slow down time and uses this ability in the supermarket. He takes the clothes off attractive girls who are shopping and then draws them. This guy's love of the female body is due to his childhood, when he lived with a Swedish student who liked to walk around the house naked. In addition, Ben takes revenge on his narcissistic boss. After freezing time, he transports him in a cart to the spot where Matt and Barry threw a bottle of sour milk at each other. The artist then puts the boss in front of the flying bottle and puts time back on track. The next morning, Ben is visited by his friend Sean and brings up the subject of breaking up with Susie again. Ben slows down time and reminisces about their childhood. Ever since they were kids, they were best friends and spent hours playing video games. One day, Sean's mom went to the store and the boys discovered an adult magazine. When Sean's mom returned unexpectedly, they quickly hid the magazine. But Mom noticed something suspicious. From then on, she was sure that she and Ben were not just friends. When Ben gets his time back on track, a friend advises him to find himself a girl for a one-night stand. Sean calls all such girls Natalie, due to the fact that when they were teenagers, a girl named Natalie lived next door to them, who could lift her skirt and show something for money. The next day at work, Barry and Matt poke fun at Ben and pull down his pants, and then notice a new employee who appears to have kung fu skills. Matt asks the guy to demonstrate his skills on him. In the locker room, Sharon asks Ben to take a bite of his sandwich. Ben notices that the girl has a piece of cucumber left on her face. He puts it away and, looking at Sharon's face, realizes he has fallen in love with her. Later, he learns that Matt has asked her out, and he remembers his high school sweetheart, Tanya Green. One day, she showed up at school with a broken arm, which caught the attention of all her classmates. Every day, they wrote words of encouragement on her cast. Except that after the cast was removed on her arm, the girl, for some reason, grew long and thick hair. While everyone laughed at Tanya, Ben supported the girl and asked her to go out with him. Tanya agreed, and the next day they went on a date behind the school. Ben had a chance for a first kiss that day, but he got confused and just went home. The next day, Tanya didn't show up for her date because her parents took her to America. At work, Ben hears Matt sharing about his date with Sharon. A supervisor shows up and announces a friendly soccer game in which Ben's team is playing against the professional soccer players. The moment the ball flies right into the warden's face, the guy slows down to rest and have a soda. Back on the field, Ben finishes the game, and after the boss gets hurt, Matt asks Ben to take Sharon home. They go into a coffee shop and chat about various things, including the fact that Sharon and Matt are not in a serious relationship. The next day, Sharon invites Ben to a birthday party for his boss, who gives Ben the task of finding a dancer for the party. Our hero turns to his friend Sean for help and gets consent, but only on the condition that he be invited to the birthday party. Together they find a dancer in a bar. Ben imagines Sharon in the dancer's shoes, and he enjoys these fantasies very much. The next day, our hero slows down time and time again to draw Sharon. He draws portraits of her without taking her clothes off, as he has done with other girls. Ben is primarily interested in her face. He draws dozens of portraits of her. That same day, after his shift, Sharon comes up to him in the dressing room and kisses him tenderly. Once home, Ben finally falls sweetly asleep. In the morning, Ben learns that a gallery is interested in his paintings and invites him to a presentation. But as it turns out, it was another prank on Barry and Matt. The boss's birthday party is coming up and Ben goes there with Sharon. The party is in full swing. Sean gets rejected by another girl, Matt and Barry dance wildly, and the boss gets sucked into the role of DJ. Among the guests, Ben unexpectedly meets Susie, his ex-girlfriend whose boyfriend turns out to be his boss's brother. Dancers show up and make this party even more incendiary. It turns out this woman is the same Natalie who used to lift her skirt for money when she was a teenager. Catching a moment when she and Ben are alone, Susie confesses that she still thinks about him and suddenly kisses him. Sharon, who happened to witness the kiss, walks away furious. Ben slows down and spends 2 days with her, trying to decide how to apologize to Sharon and regain her trust. Finally, he gets time back on track, but Sharon won't talk to him and only yells at him when he tries to apologize. The guy starts having insomnia again. On Monday morning, Ben, unsuspecting, arrives at the gallery, where he learns that no one has made any appointment for him. Ben realizes that Matt and Barry have played a joke on him and is about to leave, but the gallery owner says that if he's already here, he should show his drawings. The man looks at Ben's work and likes it so much that he soon arranges a whole exhibition of his drawings. Sharon receives an invitation to this exhibition and attends. She notices that all of the artwork depicts her. Ben stops drawing other girls and devotes all his time to Sharon. They finally reconcile, and Ben demonstrates his superpower. They go for a walk in snowy weather. The snowflakes are frozen in the air, and Sharon feels like she has entered a real fairy tale. She and Ben kiss softly. That's all for today. Subscribe and like it if you want more videos like this.